Our team coverage continues with Fox 23 certified meteorologist Mike Grogan and a look at what we typically get in August and just how unusual this week's rain has been.
That's right. We're going to look at one specific statistic, and it's going to show what we've had so far this month in terms of rainfall. The first 4 days high and dry, but as you look a little closer on the map here, you're going to see we had 4 days in a row with at least 1/10 of an inch of rain, and that is tying the longest stretch of that amount of rain day to day in August history. And if we end up with more rainfall tomorrow, at least at that amount, which is certainly possible, we'll break a record for the longest amount of rain, at least 0.1 inches or more in the month of August. Well, in terms of rainfall and what we typically expect in the month, the average amount of rain is actually a little more significant than you might think. Almost 3.5 inches is what is average. Tulsa at 1.85 inches so far, but I will tell you many other areas have seen much more than even our average for the entire month just in this last stormy bout. Well, we've had as much as nearly a foot of rain. That occurred in 1927, but we've also had years that are almost completely void of rainfall. You might remember that year 2000. Very hot, very dry for our area. In terms of temperatures, though, Tulsa area starts to see the downward trend in the summer readings, going from average high of 95 at the beginning of the month. We're down to an average high of 94, so we've already started to slip to slightly cooler readings by average. By the end of the month, just an average high of 90, and that average low falling back into the 60s. Now, all-time record a temperature in Tulsa, it was 115. That was set in the month of August back in 1936, an incredibly hot year. And all record highs fall between 104 and 115 this month, but it has been as cool as 48 in the month of August. In terms of severe weather and tornadoes specifically, Oklahoma doesn't tend to get a lot. The upper level winds are fairly light, so we only average about 1 to maybe 2 tornadoes each year. The most, 1979 with 13. Last year, in the last 3 years, 0 tornadoes. Of course, we think back to August of 2017, that infamous tornado coming with 4 of them total just in that night alone. Thankfully, we're looking at fairly quiet weather in terms of the tornado threat, but there is some severe weather potential. Coming up in the forecast, James will have more on the timeline for that in just a bit.